You look in the mirror, and for the first time the person staring back feels foreign. Everything that once defined you, your job, your friends, your routines, even the story you told yourself about your life, feels hollow, uncertain, like a costume you can't remove fast enough. You're not broken. You're awakening. If your life lately feels confusing, disconnected, or as if nothing holds meaning anymore, this video is for you. Today we're diving into the identity collapse that happens during spiritual awakening, why it's terrifying and necessary, and how it can lead you to clarity, strength, and a sense of self you've never known before. By the end of this video, you'll understand why feeling lost is not a sign of failure, how to navigate the collapse without fear, and the mindset shifts that lead to transformation, purpose, and inner power. But first, you need to understand why the life you've been living is already changing beneath your feet. It starts subtly. Maybe you notice that the routines that once comforted you, your daily habits, your favorite hobbies, even your conversations, no longer bring the satisfaction they once did. You might shrug it off at first. I'm just tired, you tell yourself. I need a break. But this feeling grows. Slowly you notice that the reflection in the mirror isn't quite you anymore. You begin questioning the labels you've clung to for years. Who am I if I'm not defined by my job, my relationships, my accomplishments? This is the moment where fear and curiosity collide. Everything you've known about yourself starts to unravel, and suddenly you see a void where certainty used to be. It's unsettling. You may feel isolated, as if the world has tilted slightly out of alignment. People around you don't notice, or if they do, they call it a phase. But deep down, you know something fundamental is shifting. And what's about to happen next will feel like stepping off a cliff, except this time, the ground is being replaced with possibility, and the air is charged with clarity you've never experienced before. Your old identity, the one you built to survive, to succeed, to belong, begins to dissolve. Skills, titles, achievements, roles, all of it suddenly feels irrelevant. And in that irrelevance lies your first taste of freedom. For the first time, you realize you've been performing life rather than living it. You've been wearing masks, meeting expectations, and clinging to external approval as if your worth depended on it. And now those masks fall. The freedom that comes next is exhilarating, but it's also terrifying, because the truth you're facing isn't soft or forgiving. It's raw. And just when you think you're starting to get used to it, you realize there's an even deeper layer waiting to be uncovered. The collapse doesn't just affect how you see yourself. It changes how the world interacts with you. Friends, family, colleagues, they may seem distant or even confused by your shift. Some may even leave. That can feel like rejection, but in reality it's alignment. The people who belong in your life will return naturally at the right time. And the ones who don't, their absence creates space for something far greater. And yet, right when the isolation feels unbearable, you stumble upon insights so profound that they challenge everything you believed about connection, purpose, and the life you thought you were meant to live. In the middle of this collapse, strange and unexpected moments appear. You notice that what once made life feel heavy, obligation, comparison, distraction, loses its grip. Suddenly small decisions feel monumental, small insights feel like revelations, and you begin to trust your own inner guidance in ways that used to feel impossible. You start seeing patterns in your life that had been invisible. Moments that once felt random now seem deliberate, like signposts guiding you toward clarity. And as this awareness deepens, you realize that the chaos you feared is actually creating a path toward mastery, if you're willing to follow it. Then comes the paradox. The deeper you go into this collapse, the more you feel both lost and alive. The confusion intensifies just as clarity begins to emerge. You may experience nights where sleep doesn't come, where your thoughts spiral, where your heart races as you confront questions you've avoided for years. Am I enough? Am I living truthfully? Who am I beyond the roles and expectations? And here's the twist. These moments are exactly what sharpen your consciousness. They break you open, so that something entirely new can be built from the pieces. And the next step, the one that could redefine your life entirely, is closer than you think. As your former self dissolves, you may also encounter a sense of resistance within yourself. It's subtle at first, a hesitation, a whisper, a nagging feeling that you shouldn't step fully into this transformation yet. You might catch yourself longing for old habits, old routines, even old relationships. That resistance is your old identity trying to survive. And here's the insight most people never realize. The moment you recognize it, you gain control. You can allow the old self to fall away completely, or you can cling and remain stuck. Choosing to let go opens a new dimension of freedom, one that most people never experience. And just when you think you've let go, another layer of fear surfaces, more subtle, more deceptive. The awakening forces you to confront yourself in ways that are deeply personal and unrelenting. You might discover hidden strengths, untapped creativity and clarity that feels like it arrived overnight, but you'll also confront fears you didn't even know existed. It's a constant push and pull between uncertainty and revelation. Every insight feels like a key, unlocking doors you didn't even know were there. And the strangest part, some of the doors lead to questions, not answers, leaving you simultaneously terrified and exhilarated, curious about what lies beyond each new threshold. Eventually, you begin to realize that the identity you thought defined you was temporary. What remains is resilience, presence, and a capacity for conscious choice. Decisions no longer feel like obligations, they feel like extensions of your true self. And in that realization, life begins to change. Opportunities that once felt out of reach now appear. Relationships shift, experiences align, not because the world has changed, but because you have. And just when you think you understand the full scope of this transformation, you'll notice something even more remarkable. The collapse was never about losing yourself. It was about discovering that self in a way that is permanent, undeniable, and profoundly liberating. The journey through identity collapse is not easy, and it's not fast. There will be moments of doubt, confusion, and fear. But each of those moments is proof that your consciousness is expanding, that you're stepping into a life of authenticity, and that you're moving toward a version of yourself that you've only glimpsed in fragments. Take a moment to honor how far you've come. The nights of uncertainty, the lonely moments, the questioning, all of it was shaping you, clearing space and aligning your life with who you truly are. You are more aware, more capable, and more prepared for life than you were before this awakening began. Your next step is simple yet transformative. Observe yourself without judgment, honor the process, and lean into the uncertainty. Each conscious choice you make builds the foundation of a new identity, one rooted in awareness, integrity, and personal power. And as you continue to awaken, you'll notice that every challenge, every loss, every moment of fear was leading you here, to a life of clarity, strength, and freedom. If this connected with you, thank you for watching until the end. Like and subscribe to continue exploring insights on higher consciousness, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Your journey matters, and the awareness you're cultivating today will shape every part of your life tomorrow.